did have those 16 turnovers in their last contest against Minnesota.
These two teams have split the season series so far. This game, much like a lot of them down the stretch, has playoff implications when you talk about home court. We saw what happened last year in the finals with Seattle having home floor.
Yes, they've got the best of Washington in the best-of-5 series. They won 3 games. Washington wants to get back to the coveted finals.
Howard knocks down the first 3 of the night, and she gets Seattle on the board early.
Well, she was the only player in double digits the last time these two teams met. Both teams sitting in their man-to-man defense. But they're going to play it in different ways. Washington likes to spread you out in their 5-out offense. They had 6 players in double figures as Deladon mishandles.
Clark back the other way. Here's Russell. Canada. Howard. Back to Canada. 12 on the shot clock. She attacks baseline. Clark fires. That's short. Loose ball on the ground. Deladon controls as she clears.
I love that she's a 6'5" initiator for the Mystics. She can get the rebound and push the ball up the floor and set the offense.
And they're going to say out of bounds as we take a look at Dan Hughes in his 18th season, but second with the Storm.
Second with the Storm. He missed the first 9 games with a cancerous tumor in his digestive tract. He is doing great. Spoke with him prior to the game. Said he feels terrific. He wasn't here the last time these two teams met in D.C.
Associate head coach Gary Kloppenberg was at the helm as Coach Thibault trying to, as you mentioned, keep the winning streak going, especially here at home. He loves this new home court advantage.
And he knows that his players understand what each game means at this juncture of the season. They know they have to execute. They know that they need to have focus and great energy as well.
Howard, as the shot clock comes down, she gets the bounce.
What Washington does defensively, they switch positions 1 through 4. That time Cloud ended up on Howard, and that's a mismatch in terms of height, obviously. 6'5" for Howard.
Howard, she's into the starting lineup for the second game as she gets right to the hoop, count the bucket and the foul.
How about the high level of confidence Aerial Powers is playing the game with? Right here, the crossover just needs a little bit of space to get by and uses her strength to finish with contact.
Powers, her second start. Christy Tolliver, if you're just joining us, has been ruled out. Coach Thibault said yesterday after practice she will miss the remainder of the week due to that knee contusion. So they're trying to get her as much time as possible.
Right, and she has to miss the next 3 games, he said, prior to the game today, because they signed Shea Petty to a 7-day contract.
Cloud off the steal, the bounce to Atkins. Deladon. Cloud triggers. Got it.
Natasha Cloud wants to get back on track in this game. Didn't play particularly well in the last one in terms of turnovers.
And Howard answers right back. Powers in transition to the hoop. Sanders follows it. Loose ball controlled by Clark. Coach Thibault wondering, no call on that. Clark in the paint as she tosses it out of bounds.
For as efficient as Washington is as an offensive juggernaut, they played tough on the defensive end. You see the switches right there. Cloud in the passing lanes, great anticipation, pushing pace. It's a major key for Washington.
Deladon, pump fake. The double comes high off the glass. She got that one to go.
Not sure how, though, Megan, because she was off balance, leaning away from the double team, and kissed it off the glass effortlessly.
Tipped, but Clark controls for the Storm. 12 on the shot clock. Whitcomb tried to go to Howard, miscommunication, turnover. That's the 3rd turnover so far in this early going.
Sammy Whitcomb has worked her way into the starting lineup for Seattle. She reties her shoe here, but she has been very efficient for the Storm. On the offensive end, stretches the floor with her 3-point prowess, 8 points a game for Whitcomb. So
last 3, 11 points on 35% from beyond the arc. Atkins trying to turn the corner. Collects, kicks it. Powers, got it.
That's the beauty of the Mystics. They can score from all 5 positions from 3.
Russell wants it inside. Whitcomb lets it fly, and she answers as we are tied at 11.
Gotta find Whitcomb. She doesn't take a lot of time in terms of her mechanics on her shot.
Atkins, Deladon. Spins. Russell comes to double. Tries to come out to Sanders. She saves it off of Whitcomb. Heads up play, because that could have been a turnover.
Well, it was a great read defensively by Seattle. They understand that Deladon's going to come back with that roll, but we're going to take a look at Powers knocking in that kick out 3. And then on the other side, Seattle knocking in a 3 of their own with Whitcomb nailing it.
Sanders, a reset to 14 off the offensive board. Atkins does not go. Russell with the rebound.
Washington did a really good job in terms of pushing Seattle off of the three-point line in their last game. They were 3 of 22 from 3.
Sanders with the rebound. Her and Howard are tied up, and they're going to give the foul to Natasha Howard.
Take a look right here. Mercedes Russell short on her shot and gets tangled up with Sanders. There is Natasha Howard. Washington likes to isolate Deladon on that left side, but now she's trying to work that right block.
Powers attacking. They're going to say it was last touch by the Mystics. Powers is saying it was tipped, but it'll go to the Storm.
They're saying it slipped out of Powers' hands, but it looked like it got tipped out.
Canada. Howard. Help came, piece of it. Russell's control. She goes back up for the and one opportunity. And a timeout on the floor when we return. Mercedes Russell will be at the free throw line.
Well, it's been raining threes so far here in D.C. Aerial to aerial for the Mystics. 3 from the baseline. And then a swing 3 for Sammy Whitcomb, who takes no time to release it.
Welcome back. The Storm on top of the Mystics 13-11 early on in the first quarter. Well, over the weekend, the Mystics scored over 100 points for the 3rd time this season. Now, the record for the most 100-point games over the course of a season in franchise history was in 2017 when they hit that mark 5 times. Although it should be noted that since July 30th, the Mystics have also scored 99 points 3 times. They have hovered around that 100-point mark on a variety of occasions already this season. Now, entering this season, we expected some offensive firepower from both teams, but I don't know if anyone could have expected this kind of offensive firepower. The Mystics averaging 87.9 points per game. If the season ended today, that would rank 6th all-time in total points per game over the course of a season. You know, one of the lowest point totals of the season came against Seattle in June, but early on, ladies, I mean, there's a lot of points happening right now. We could see a high-scoring affair tonight.
Pew, 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 pew. That's my lasers for high scoring.
That's big time. And, you know, this Washington Mystics team, they scored 99 points at Seattle back on August 2nd in their 20-point victory against the Storm. And their series is split. They lost by 3 points here, 74-71, about a month ago. And in that first game here in D.C., Christy Tolliver was ejected in that first half, and Coach Tebow said before the game today, hey, we just didn't play well down the stretch in that contest, but in that next game out in Seattle, they played the way they knew they could in terms of spreading the floor, leading the league with 21 assists.
Drew Lloyd in that game here in D.C. getting the go-ahead jumper at the free throw line. Cloud backing down Canada, turns, puts it up, doesn't go. Russell with the rebound. Storm with a 3-point lead here. Just under halfway in this first quarter. Russell on the reverse. The nice pass from Natasha Howard.
Yeah, miscue defensively. Nobody home to protect the paint or the rim. Black lack of communication. It doesn't take but a split second to miss your reads on the defensive side.
Howard off the mark. Canada with the rebound.
Seattle, the last couple of possessions, have done a tremendous job in terms of closing the lane. As Russell misses on that one.
Up the floor in transition. And they're going to say last touch by the Mystics. Their 4th turnover of the ball game.
As we said at the beginning of the game, the Mystics take the best care of the basketball in the league, just under 11 turnovers per contest.
Howard, 10 on the shot clock. And they're going to turn it over for the 4th time as well. And our first chance to see Emma Miesemann in this ball game, as well as Jewel Lloyd.
Jewel Lloyd, the Gold Mamba, has a strong relationship with Kobe Bryant. Kobe's been out to a couple of games to support her, cheer her on. I love it that he brings his daughters out to the games as well. He just had his 4th daughter, so the WNBA is in good hands.
The Bryant name will ring through the WNBA at some point, I'm sure. Atkins off the mark. Howard with the rebound. Canada. Clark, extra one. Lloyd in the corner. Does not go. Atkins controls the glass.
In the last contest between these two teams, Lloyd was 0 for 4 from 3, so Washington knows what she likes to do.
Off the turnover. Canada. Howard off the dribble, knocks down the 3. That's a tough shot with Miesemann right in the face.
Hey, that's all you can do. Was it an open 3? No. Was it contested heavily? Yes, it was. So that's all you can do defensively. You don't want to jump and foul. Miesemann did a great job. Just a better shot.
To Deladon, but they're going to say kickball.
I love that matchup between Elena Deladon and Natasha Howard, 2 players who have been mentioned repeatedly for this season's WNBA MVP. A kickball right there. You see Alicia Clark sticking out that left foot, getting a piece of it.
Tiana Hawkins, as well as Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, check in for the Mystics.
This Mystics team has 3 players who can probably be 6th woman of the year.
Deladon is doubled. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mystics. They've made a concerted effort to double Deladon as soon as she gets the ball.
Well, you can't forget that Seattle has the 2nd best defensive rating in the league. They're on top of every single shot.
Shot clock violation. Seattle, the last 3 minutes, Christy, on an 11-0 run.
Washington, they just have not been able to get in any kind of good rhythm on the offensive side, and I think because they're seeing these traps come rapidly and not picking up reads out of them.
Clark to Howard. Attacking, goes baseline, double Kane, got it to Russell.
And there's Cloud again, who had switched off and had the 6'6" Russell right in front of the rim. It's a tough match when you switch.
Here's Hawkins. Inside. Howard got a piece of it. 7 on the shot clock. Hawkins goes right back at her. This time with pump fake.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, Tiana Hawkins. Strong move with the body on that one.
Howard tries to step into one, saved by Jewel Lloyd, but he's set to 14. Clark has it with 10. She'll let it fly. Doesn't get the bounce as Walker-Kimbrough controls.
Well, Clark is the best in the WNBA, shooting 51% from 3.
On the kick, Miesemann. Doesn't go. Clark, that was Howard with the rebound. Canada attacking. Too strong.
In her last 2 games, 17 of 25 from the floor. She needs to find that ball.
Cloud knocks down the 3 off the screen.
Her second 3 of the evening. And that's That's what Washington likes to do. They make the most threes in the league, just under 9 a game, shooting 35%, which is good for 4th in the WNBA.
Lloyd to Howard. 5 on the shot clock. Howard lost it up the floor. Cloud tried to lead Meeseman, but it ends up with Clark. They will play for final shot. And a whistle. The officials are talking over if this is going to be a change of possession or not with the shot clock and the game clock. So they blew the whistle with 15.9. The shot clock originally was turned off. It's now on at 14, so they're...
Well, it was a turnover, so...
Yeah. So they're going to bring it down, the shot clock, to 6. So they're saying it wasn't a true change of possession. So Seattle will have it with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Canada lost her footing, gets it up, doesn't go. Russell trying to fight for the rebound. She gets it. Clark off the mark. Howard got offensive positioning, puts it up and in. 3.9 on the clock for the Mystics. Walker Kimbrough lets it fly. Just off the mark. At the end of 1, the Storm with an early lead, 23-16.
Well, Washington came out of the gate striking from the outside, knocking in threes. But Seattle moving the ball well, scoring inside and outside. Tiana Hawkins staying relentless on the interior for the Mystics. 3 more quarters to go. Howard bangs another 3.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. The Storm with a 23-16 lead here in D.C., Christy. And the Storm, they came ready to play in that opening quarter.
Yeah, thunderous open in that first quarter for Seattle. Natasha Howard, 5 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. 13 points. Let's take a look at Christy Tolliver, who was not suited up for tonight's game. She'll miss the next couple. The sore right knee.
Maisha Hines-Allen starts the second quarter for the Mystics. Hawkins misses that one. Langhorn as well as Mosqueda Lewis for the Storm as a turnover, the 6th turnover for the Storm this first half.
How quick is Ariel Atkins in terms of her reflexes? She was right on time, getting her hand on the basketball there, and Lloyd touched it after that. She was probable for playing today after running into Sylvia Fowles on a drag screen at half court. Like she hit a brick wall. Not concussed, but her neck is extremely sore. Didn't practice yesterday.
Hawkins attacks, got that to go even through contact.
That's as nimble as I've seen Tiana Hawkins in a couple of weeks. She's been struggling with some knee pain. Rested the last game the Mystics played against Minnesota. She looked fresh on that one.
Lloyd comes back to Langhorn. Gets right to the hoop as that falls.
Yeah, the lefty Langhorn played 6 seasons here in D.C. for the Washington Mystics and was traded to Seattle for Hawkins.
Back-to-back buckets for Tiana Hawkins.
Looking spry, the 2 Terps battling it out against one another.
On the floor, a tie-up as Meeseman and Lloyd will jump it up.
Tiana Hawkins is one of the 3 players who was up for 6th Player of the Year for the Mystics. Just a nice soft touch from the outside. And great defense. Get on the floor. If you want the ball, you put your body on the floor. You don't just put your pinky down in the scrum. Get in there with 2 hands and fight for what you want.
Lloyd and Meeseman will jump it up. Shavonte Zellis checked in for the Storm. Meeseman wins the tip as she back tapped it to Hawkins. Here's Atkins to Meeseman. Hawkins. 10 on the shot clock. Meeson in the pump fake. Gets that floater to go.
That was a tough move right there. Off balance like Deladon was earlier. I mean, this defense from Seattle is relentless. You've got to be creative.
Mosqueda Lewis off the mark, but Howard able to take that away from Meeson on the glass. Mosqueda Lewis again. Doesn't go. Back captain kept alive, but Hawkins able to control the loose ball. Steps into one. Got it! Tiana Hawkins, have yourself a second quarter. An 8-2 run.
Tasha Cloud saying that was ice water on that three.
And that leads to a Dan Hughes timeout, and we are tied at 25.
Well, I know that Washington is playing the Storm, but wow, Washington is raining the threes. Tiana Hawkins finding the bottom of the net for a triple.
Welcome back as the Mystics. Last time these two teams met here in D.C., the Storm came in and snuck it away.
Yeah, it was a double-digit lead for the Mystics down the stretch and just fell apart in terms of execution on both sides of the court. But Jewel Lloyd had herself a second half, got things going offensively for Seattle, and as you said earlier, sealed the deal at the end of it with this dagger of a mid-range to close things out. 3-point victory for the Storm.
And you know, that play, the defense did what they were supposed to do. They converged on Natasha Howard. Natasha Howard did what she was supposed to do and found the open shooter. And Jewel Lloyd did what she was supposed to do and it was like a perfect storm, if you will. Pun unintended, I apologize.
No, it was intended. It was intended. But it was probably 4 or 5 possessions prior to that shot that Washington fell apart with.
Langhorn. There's a block from Maisha Hines-Allen on Courtney Parrish. Hawkins in transition, stops on a dime, misses. Hines-Allen with the rebound. Meeseman, cross court. Meeseman back with it. 6 on the shot clock. Spins, kicks. Walker Kimbrough off the mark. Zealous with the rebound.
Meeseman, I thought, had that initial shot that came out to her, was wide open. I think the bench stood up too, anticipating she would lift that one. She can't be a reluctant scorer. She's shooting 50% from 3. You got to shoot that.
Lloyd attacks baseline. The reverse doesn't go. Zealous trying to fly in for the rebound.
Well, Maisha Hines-Allen may be undersized a bit inside, but she has great timing on the rotation, getting a piece of that one by Courtney Parrish.
Walker Kimbrough. Hines-Allen goes to Meeseman. Meeseman directing traffic. Hines-Allen just lost the handle of the ball.
It was a great read off the handoff by Meeseman, though. Meeseman was patient in terms of waiting for the timing of the double team. It came to her. Hines-Allen made a great read, running middle on that one, trying to get something to the rim.
Zealous now with it. Goes away from the Paris screen. Walker Kimbrough off the loose ball pickup. Up the floor, Atkins tries to save it. And they're going to say it will stay with the Mystics.
Atkins saying she was in shooting motion. Coach Tebow saying she had gathered for the shot. When the contact occurred from the airborne shooter. We'll take a look at it right here. Great hustle. Ariel Atkins gets tagged on the hand right there by Witham. You see the bench questioning. She was into her shot on that.
Definitely looked like the gather. Off the inbound. Meeseman right to the hoop. That was halfway down and popped back out. That's when the backboard is your friend. When you're in there and all those hands and bodies are all in the way, you've got to use that glass to secure the bucket. Whitcomb comes back to Parrish. Inside. Zealot kicks it. Mosqueda Lewis. Doesn't go. Howard off the rebound tip. Not even sure what I want to call that. Whitcomb gets hit with a Hawkins screen. Walker Kimbrough goes right at Mosqueda Lewis, who gets the block.
Pretty vicious tip in by Natasha Howard. Great timing. Knew she couldn't get two hands on it, but she could get one, and that was just enough. And defensively, Mosqueda Lewis sending that one back to Shatori Walker Kimbrough.
Hawkins picked up by Mosqueda Lewis. Doubles. Doesn't phase her at all.
That was just filthy. Okay, Tiana Hawkins. Two people on you, doesn't matter. Confidence oozing.
She's up to 11 now. Whitcomb, quick trigger, nails it.
That's automatic. I'm telling you, if you're not there on the catch to disrupt her shooting pocket, she will kill you with that three.
The quickness of the release reminds me of Kim messed up.
Yeah, real quick. Before you can even blink.
Atkins comes back, EDD three. Off the mark, Harris with the rebound. Whitcomb off the screen, lets it fly. Doesn't get the bounce. Miesemann with the rebound. Cloud up the floor. Kicks it. Miesemann steps into it. Off the mark, too strong.
Miesemann just didn't have her legs under her, but I tell you what, I like the fact that she took that and not passed that one up. You're wide open in your skill set. You got to let it fly.
Whitcomb. Howard goes right at EDD.
Matchup of two WNBA MVP candidates. Lena Deladon, Natasha Howard. Deladon, most efficient players to play in the league. Gets a whole piece of that one on the block.
They try to go to Howard on the inbound. Cloud takes it away. Hawkins again. Russell trying to back down Hawkins. Hand off to Whitcomb, comes right back to Russell. She goes baseline. And Hawkins is going to get called for it as she looks to Coach T and requests that quick breather.
That's probably the only error she's made this evening. She has been on point for the Mystics. But right here, got stuck behind the 6'6" Mercedes Russell. Wasn't square to the shooter on that one and got whistled for the contact.
Russell misses the first. Tiana Hawkins gets a well-deserved ovation from the crowd. A heck of a first half from her with 14.
And we've got Tiana Hawkins coming off the bench, Powers coming off the bench, and Miesemann coming off the bench. Which one is the sixth player of the year today? I mean, all of them come in and impact the game in a positive way.
The Storm picking up in the full court. Deladon. Here's Cloud. Deladon goes quickly against Russell. Gets her on that sweep.
That's what's so special about Elena Deladon's game. She can pull you out. She's being guarded by a 6'6" post player. And take it to the basket. Right here, I don't need to bang on the block. I can take you out here and get by and create contact.
Welcome back. The first half, it's been all Tiana Hawkins.
Well, Tiana Hawkins has no fear when it comes to attacking the basket and finishing. Right here, the head and shoulder fake showing the shot blocker. The basketball will pay dividends, as will making decisive moves to the rim. If you're not going to come guard her from three, She will knock it down from range. Her teammates know it. They've seen it in practice. Gianna Hawkins, 8 minutes, 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting and 3 boards. Just great stuff from Hawkins.
As you mentioned, game versus Minnesota did not play. Rest to try and give her an extra day with the knee that she's been dealing with all season. Deladon slips behind the defense, gets that to fall.
How about that fall away? I mean, that is just some sweet basketball by Elena Deladon.
Mystics retake the lead by 1. Clark works with Howard. 10 on the shot clock.
Switch off Sanders now on Clark.
Russell hangs in the air and goes glass.
Now that weak side rotation has hurt Washington a couple of times on that second part of their defensive switch and rotation on the weak side. You have to be a beat sooner over there.
Walker Kimbrough off the pump fake. Canada able to recover. In the corner, Powers doesn't go. Sanders offensive board.
Sanders so long and lengthy, probably the most underrated player in the WNBA.
And Deladon got caught with a double dribble.
And how about the fight on the offensive boards by Latoya Sanders? No one talks about what she does for this team. She is the straw that stirs the drink for the Mystics.
Walker Kimbrough falls, able to get back. Whitcomb left open. Does not go. Sanders with the rebound. Walker Kimbrough attacks. And a whistle and a foul.
Good decision there by Shatori Walker Kimbrough. Get the defense up in the air, find yourself an avenue, and you know that the second line is coming. So great pump fake right there to create that contact and get herself to the free throw line. Washington, the best team in the league. Actually, the second best team in the league from the free throw line as a team by 0.2 of a point. 85% for the Mystics.
Walker Kimbrough gets both. Under 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. Canada works off Russell. Goes baseline. 8 seconds now on the shot clock. Canada trying to attack Deladon. The step back fade.
How about that from the second-year player out of UCLA, Jordan Canada. 5 assists per game in the absence of Sue Bird this season, who has missed 25 games with her knee injury and surgery. She has learned so much from Bird during practices.
Powers gets Howard in the air. Too strong on the layup. Loose ball. Deladon collects. She got Russell in the air and misses that one by just a hair. Elena Deladon will go to the free throw line. Deladon gets the first. Our officials this evening, Mike Price, Billy Smith, and Carlina Tobin. Deladon gets the bounce off that.
Usually don't see that much rim on a Deladon free throw. A 95% shooter, has only missed 3 free throws all season long.
Howard goes baseline, misses that one. Deladon controls up the floor to Walker Kimbrough. She collects. It's tripped up, but she will go back to the free throw line. What a great pass by Deladon. Threaded every single needle.
And you have to push with the pass. Youngsters, if you're watching, you can't keep your head down because you're going to miss open opportunities like this one. Deladon finds Shatori Walker Kimbrough in stride. And she gets nailed on the foul.
What's so impressive about that was that Deladon collected and made the pass off a dribble at the same time.
Right, and you know, you have to understand who you're throwing it to. Shatori Walker Kimbrough possesses an incredible amount of speed. So she put it right in front of her in stride. It was a perfectly placed pass.
Walker Kimbrough gets both. The lead up to 3, under a minute to play in this first half. And Dan Hughes would like a timeout. Fans, the Mystics look to block out cancer Sunday versus the Fever. Join us here at the Entertainment and Sports Arena at 3 p.m. for breast health awareness. Visit WashingtonMystics.com or call 877-DC-HOOP-1 today for tickets. And Elena Deladon, Christy, we have this conversation at least once a game, but it's because of how potent she has been even after the nasal fracture wearing this mask.
Well, I think that was kind of a poking of the bear, if you will, and the stats don't lie. You know, you take a look at what Deladon was able to do without the mask, which wasn't bad by any stretch, but then you look to the right, and with the mask, in the last 9 games, she has just been spectacular. 24 points a game, 57% from 3. I mean, just insanely good. So, you know, you don't want to make players like Elena Deladon irritated. She'll take it out on you statistically on the court.
In her last 5 games, 25 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.4 blocks on 63% field goal, 53 from 3, and 95 from the free throw line.
Yeah, her 43% from 3 is the best since her rookie season at Chicago.
After the timeout from Coach Hughes, Howard does not go. Walker Kimbrough controls the glass. Deladon. Cloud now with it. 12 on the shot clock. Deladon. 4 seconds. Howard got a piece of that. It will stay with the Mystics. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And Coach Tebow wants to draw something up.
Well, I'm favoring that matchup. I just love it. Natasha Howard, Elena Deladon, 2 of the best in their positions. And taking a look right here, Howard smacks it away and goes right off of her fingertips. And, you know, we've been at the practices and the execution and the situational plays that Mike Tebow and his staff goes over and over with his squad. It's a lot of fun for me to be in the presence of that. He's a basketball savant, won on all kinds of levels in the NBA with Chicago and with the LA Lakers. And it's Magic Johnson's birthday today. Got to give him a shout out on that. Coached him and Michael Jordan, and you know, he won a CBA championship as well and been to the finals.
Christy Tolliver might not be suited in uniform, but still taking advantage of what she brings to this team, whether it's timeouts or even in-game, getting her information to her teammates, because she's seeing something they're not seeing.
Absolutely, and her role as an assistant coach with the Washington Wizards, one of 9 females coaching now in the NBA, as she shares the giggle with Satori Walker-Kimbrough as she makes her way back out. But it's just so much fun to watch her in that coaching role with the Wizards. She said she watches Bradley Beal an awful lot in his off-ball movements.
Off the inbound, lost the handle. Howard, as the Mystics had a foul to give. 7.44 Storm.
They were looking for Deladon on that inbounds trigger, and right here with the foul to give, Sanders tries to make a play on the ball there.
Canada, 3 seconds, right to the hoop, blocked by Sanders. Cloud thought about it and decided not to. And Latoya Sanders saves the possession on the defensive end to close out the first half.
Will somebody hand her a gold star, please, for her intangible defensive plays and her ability to secure possessions for the Washington Mystics.
As Dan Nolan is joined by Tiana Hawkins.
All right, thank you, Megan. You know, Tiana, it was a rough start for the starters out of the gate, but end of that first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, the bench really stepped up. How are you all able to go on that offensive spree?
It's just trying to do what we try to do every night, just coming off the bench with a burst of energy, a burst of confidence, and just play hard out there.
you have more energy, I think, than usual because you had that last game off. 14 points. You took 9 shots in the first half. Why have you been so aggressive today early on?
It feels good to be back. It's just one of those nights when I'm feeling it. My teammates know I'm feeling it, and they're just pass me the ball when I'm open.
Tiana, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Megan?
Thanks, Dan. Tiana Hawkins has had a solid first half. I'm okay if she keeps letting it fly, Christy.
Well, she's got to do it. She said somebody's got to do it. The bench mob has been huge for the Mystics off the bench, creating a lot of opportunities. And they need to get some stops to continue in the second half.
The Mystics lead the Storm 38-35 at halftime. Just had a chance to speak to associate head coach Eric Thibault. At first, he had to mention the bench. He says the best bench in the WNBA, averaging 30 points per game roughly. Tiana Hawkins definitely doing really well so far. And then on the offensive end, it's been a struggle so far. Remember, this is a team that scored 100 points just a few days ago. Well, they only had 38 points at halftime. Big reason why is that apparently the Storm have doubled Elena harder than usual. The big question Eric Thibault asked was, can they force turnovers before you see the open man? Seattle did manage to do that in the first half, 10 turnovers. They have to lower that total in the second half, but overall could not have been happier with the bench production. And by the way, Megan and Christy, getting those free throws at the end of the half helped get a little momentum for the starters as well.
I would definitely agree with that, Dan. Elena Deladon getting to the free throw line a couple of times. Shatori Walker-Kimbrell, although not a starter, she did get to the line. I think that helped with some momentum as well.
Yeah, no question. 7 of 7 from the free throw line. The Washington Mystics need to stay aggressive to the rim and get in there and maybe look to that big lineup and have Deladon play a little 3 to pull her away so they can't double her as easily. That may be something we'll see here in the third quarter.
Talking to Coach Thibault after practice yesterday, I asked, is this a matchup that the big lineup we may see? And he said it could be, but it depends how the game flow is going.
Absolutely, because you have to look on the other side defensively. I know they switch a lot, but you have to make sure that the other team has to guard you as well. So make it tougher for them and be big and knock down threes from the outside.
Atkins knocks down the jumper to start this third quarter.
That's a good sign. Staying aggressive and intentional on the offensive end always bodes well for this Washington Mystics squad.
Canada works with Howard. Lost the handle. Gets it back. 6 on the shot clock. Rises. Jumper doesn't go. Loose ball on the ground. Sanders collects.
His arms came out of nowhere to grab that one. Sanders, I thought, was out of the play, but corralled it.
Powers. Quick pull-up. Doesn't get the bounce, but she will go to the free throw line. So doing exactly what you just mentioned, keep attacking.
That's what you have to do. I mean, Alicia Clark, for as good as she was an offensive player at Middle Tennessee State, leading the country in scoring just about 28 a game, she has been a dog on the defensive end in the WNBA, one of the best in the league to guard multiple positions.
Powers gets the first. One of my favorite defenders because she always, even when she knows if she's made the foul, she'll always contest it. She always wants an explanation. She always wants to know how she can be better because those fouls you pick up, it can make you better if you know where your positioning is wrong.
Well, great defensive players take pride in their execution, and they want to learn.
Got both free throws. Was Powers. Howard, pull-up jumper, doesn't go, loose ball, long rebound, ends up in the hands of Clark. Reset to 14, but they've got 10 now. Howard again, does not go. Clark with the offensive board. Canada. Howard, taken away by Deladon.
Good scrappy defense there by Deladon. Makes Seattle make a quick choice. Almost got a 3-second call on the offensive side.
Sanders doesn't get the roll, but come with the rebound.
Usually knocks those down right there in front of that restricted area spot. Goes the pinch post and the elbows.
Howard, great pass. So they're going to get a blocking foul called. Ariel Atkins was there to take it.
Take a look at that. Handoff action there to Whitcomb. Whitcomb looking to get it back to Howard, and they seemed like they arrived at the same time, but that left foot was not in good defensive guarding area.
Howard going at Sanders. A whistle and a foul.
Tasha Howard stayed aggressive in terms of her attack to that baseline side, and Sanders tried her best to get her right foot on that baseline. Gave her a couple of inches there, and she turned that corner with contact for the foul.
Russell to Canada. Whitcomb. Russell has a mismatch. Nice switch off from EDD. 4 on the shot clock. The shot's up and falls for Sammy Whitcomb.
She has been on fire from the outside for Seattle, now 3 of 5 from range.
Powers got it.
I love the fire and energy that Ariel Powers brings to the Washington Mystics off the bench. Came in midseason last year in a trade for Taylor Hill.
Whitcomb does not go. Powers with the rebound. Cloud working with Sanders. Directing traffic. 10 on the shot clock.
You see Deladon way out on the three-point line.
Deladon off the pump fake. Contact saved by Canada. She kept it alive. Coach Tebow wondering where the call was. Canada goes to Howard, lost the handle.
I said Deladon may be pulled off that block so she could do things like this. The second line comes over. Clark absorbs the contact from Deladon, but the ball had slipped out of her hands, and that's what the officials explained to Coach Tebow.
Powers, the cross, kicks it. 7 on the shot clock. Powers has Russell on her. Attack. Gets the bucket.
Tough was that move by Ariel Powers.
And Coach Hughes wants a timeout.
Well, on the switch, Ariel Powers takes advantage with her speed. The bench loving the aggression from their bench, which has continued.
Welcome back to Entertainment and Sports Arena. Yes, that is Washington Redskins running back Adrian Peterson. This is his first ever WNBA game. Gets a chance to see Elena Deladon with MVP written all over the building today. You know, AP, this is his first game, but he is familiar with the WNBA. 2 players in particular were his favorites growing up. The first was Lisa Leslie, who wasn't a Lisa Leslie fan growing up. And then the second, a name that a lot of people are familiar with around here, Cynthia Cooper, of course, one of Elena Deladon's favorite players, and one of her heroes in the shoe business as well.
Now, I support him coming to the game, and I love it. But you played for the Vikings. How did you never get to a Lynx game?
Busy. A busy schedule, but that's all right. He's here now, so we're going to stay in the present and enjoy him on the front row over there. That's so great. But I love the support of this city. You know, Together DC is the hashtag for the Washington Mystics. DC family for the Washington Wizards, and that's what it is. You're right here in Southeast Washington. Fans are right on top of you in this intimate atmosphere, and to have all the players from different teams come out, that's just awesome stuff.
Howard, the pump fake. Got the roll on that. Cuts the deficit to 7.
31-17 advantage for the Mystics since the first quarter. They have been on a mission offensively.
Sanders stepped into that one.
Elena Deladon's averaging just under 20 points a game, but she's only taken 4 shots in this game, and she's shooting 50%, but only 4 shots so far for Deladon.
Atkins off the cross. Hit to the ground.
This is what what makes Washington such a tough team to guard. You've got the pick and pop. All 5 players can do that. All of the post players listed on the roster can make that read. And here's the foul there. Jewel Lloyd hitting part of the body of the left-hander, Ariel Atkins.
Jordan, Canada back into the game. The lead now at 11. This is the biggest lead for the Mystics in this ball game.
Now it's all about defensive stops and sustained focus on this side of the court.
10 on the shot clock. Here's Lloyd. Working with Howard. They swing it.
Great switching on the backside of Powers and Atkins.
1 second. Canada didn't even realize it off the pass from Russell. And a shot clock violation.
Now you need consecutive stops like that. That's the kind of defensive energy and focus that the Mystics want to see. The bench was up and applauding. It's not just on the three-point plays. It's on the defensive side as well. They get excited.
Whistle and a foul. It will stay here. It's going to be on Natasha Howard.
You watch Deladon right here trying to take the cut. And then Howard impedes that progress to the ball.
Off the inbound. Deladon, handoff to Cloud, 10 seconds. It's on the pump fake, right to the bucket. High off the glass.
That's the only place Natasha Cloud could put that ball. The 6'6" Mercedes Russell had rotated over and had that high hand in the way.
On the entry, Natasha Howard throws it out of bounds.
Right there. The pump fake gets the first line of defense off balance, and then the little baby hook by Cloud, kissing it to perfection off the glass.
Atkins attacking. Comes back to Sanders. Lost the handle, controls. Atkins hanging in the air, gets that to fall.
I mean, everyone in the arena here was leaning, but I think Ariel Atkins won the prize for as far back as she had to lean to get that one to drop.
Canada off the screen. Attacking. Comes back out. Clark. 6 on the shot clock. Canada attacks. Hangs. Doesn't go. Russell. As the Mystics can extend this 8-0 run.
Nowhere for Russell to go on that.
Powers. Howard with the rebound. Canada attacking. Clark. They go to Howard. The hook shot doesn't go. Sanders. Cloud. Right to the bucket. Too strong. Loose ball on the rebound. It will stay with the Mystics. Hawkins and Walker Kimbrough will check in to the ball game along with Mosqueda Lewis and Langhorne for the Storm.
How tough is that for Seattle? You're trying to cut back into this lead, and then you see the hot-handed Deanna Hawkins making her way back to the court.
Rested from that second quarter.
No doubt.
Off the inbounds. 10 on the shot clock. Walker Kimbrough attacking. Had that blocked. Canada in transition. Howard. Help comes from Deladon. Howard, nice move off glass.
It's just a tough finish. And Tori Walker Kimbrough on her. The help rotated over. Deladon was there, but just a strong finish.
Deladon in the post. Doesn't go, but she will go to the free throw line. That's been such a fun matchup. 2 MVP candidates going head-to-head.
I love it. I love it. It's like a chess match. It's not checkers with those two. They have been going after it, and it has been pretty evenly matched in terms of what they're trying to take away. And mean, Howard's stats stand out, obviously, with her 19 points, but Deladon has been crafty in other ways. Here's Cloud getting it down to Deladon. That pump fake every time. When you have strong shot blockers, you see that ball, they want to attack it.
Got both, and it's not often. We've seen Elena Deladon make her way to the post, but it's not often that she then continues to work with the post moves. And a whistle and a foul. And they give it to Deladon. And she got Howard on the arm.
Shot blocker inside, but she has great anticipation on the defensive end as a whole. She leads the WNBA with 54 steals coming into this game. So it's not just your blocks. You can be disruptive in other ways on that side of the floor.
Howard gets both free throws. Deladon goes out. Niesemann comes in. Hawkins, quick touch pass. Powers. Too strong.
Good ball movement there, though. Great touches.
Zealous inside.
Well, it could be a jump ball, but Niesemann whistled for the shooting foul. We'll take a look at it right here. Here's Niesemann. Angle on that, but it looked like she went up with those two hands. The official said got Zealous on the arm.
Zealous got both. Cuts the lead to 11.
ISO Emma Niesemann on that block with Zealous behind her.
10 on the shot clock. And they're going to get Zealous with a foul. And the Mystics in bonus.
A little overzealous there. I say that every time she comes to town, can't help it. But with that, the read of the double team by Niesemann, she knows it's coming. Once she squares and puts the ball on the ground, the double team converges.
Mystics at the free throw line, +9 in the make.
Seattle only 6 of 7 from the line.
Howard.
She is knocking in some threes today. 29% shooter coming into this game from 3, and she has been on point from range. 4 of 7.
Cloud. Kicks it. Walker Kimbrough. Hawkins, 6 on the shot clock, turns, comes back middle. Niesemann doesn't get the bounce. Loose ball, Mosqueda Lewis controls. Zealous uses the screen from Langhorne. Hawkins got the steal, keeps it alive.
Good patience here by Washington as they set up their offense.
Cloud, cross court, Powers, attacks. And an offensive foul called on Aerial Powers.
Take a look, the decision was made to drive it. Seattle right there. Outside of the restricted area, Ellis taking the charge.
Howard to Lloyd. Langhorn attacks middle. And a whistle and a foul. Hawkins going to pick that one up.
Yes, Crystal Langhorn had the step on Tiana Hawkins on that one. She ripped it through and had that step. You saw when she got by right there. And Hawkins, I mean, it's easier said than done. Sprint to where she's going and then try to contest it with two hands. But when the offensive player gets a step on you like that, you just try to make a play on the ball the best way you can.
Langhorn gets both, cuts this deficit down to 8. Cloud calls out the play. 13 on the shot clock. Atkins, 10 on the shot clock. To Miesemann. 2 seconds. Howard strips it right out of her hands. Zealous at the end of the quarter. Too strong. And the Storm, after being down double digits, they've cut this deficit down to 8.
Seattle staying with it. Washington continuing to spread the floor and find some success. And they've also been able to get into the paint. They have to continue to stay aggressive. We have one more quarter after this break.
Last time out versus Minnesota, Sylvia Fowles caught Ariel Atkins with that hard screen. She didn't return in that ball game. Knocked her face on the ground. She was ruled a neck injury. Didn't practice yesterday, but she did play tonight.
Yeah, she's been doing extremely well considering her neck cannot go all the way left or right, but she has been able to stay aggressive on the offensive side. And, you know, we thought she would probably be in concussion protocol. And Sylvia Fowles, that was nothing malicious. She was setting a drag screen, and it's up to teammates to let her know it's there. But when you're in transition, you're trying to hurry up and get back and do what you have to do defensively. So sometimes you don't see it. But that was certainly a hard hit, and she was down for a while afterwards.
Start of the fourth quarter. Mystics with an 8-point lead. Howard rims in and out. Coach Tebow brings Deladon back in to start this fourth quarter. Atkins lost the handle. Loose ball on the ground. Zealous controls, gets it to Mosqueda Lewis. Howard.
Tough defense by Zealous just to clog that lane, not allowing Atkins to get in there and do what she pleases.
Lloyd off the bounce, does not go.
Last time these two teams met, Washington held Seattle to 3 of 22 from 3. Tonight, they're 7 of 22. Even though they've missed their last couple.
Hawkins to Miesemann.
Nice find. Like finding one of those really good shells on the beach. Great pass by Hawkins to Miesemann. And I'm sure she had an earful. You cannot pass up shots. You got to lift it right away.
Mosqueda Lewis off the mark. Almost got the bounce on that.
Mystics trying to get Elena Deladon more involved offensively. She has 8 points on 2 of 4 shooting. She's made all 4 of her free throws. But you see they're trying to set Deladon up off the block. In that first half, primarily all of her positioning was inside, and that double team came right away on her patented spin move.
The Mystics right now, bench points, they lead the Storm 24-6. Hawkins has 14 of those as she's got it now off the handoff to Walker Kimbrough. 8 on the shot clock. Atkins. Hawkins wants it to swing. The pull-up jumper doesn't go. Loose ball on the rebound. Hawkins ties up Howard. So we saw Hawkins posting up and pointing to get that swing with only 8 on the shot clock. Is that a tough swing to make?
That's not a tough swing. It's got to happen right away, obviously, with just 8 seconds. But she had the post player on the outside of her and had an advantage on the other side in the paint. Right there, ties it up with Howard for the jump. But that's what you're supposed to do. Post players know, hey, I'm going to steal you right here. Move the ball over here so you have a better angle to get the ball to me in here. Sorry, I was posting you up right there.
That's all right. I'm a visual learner.
Old habits die hard, you know?
So Howard and Hawkins will jump it up. And it ends up with Walker Kimbrough. Hawkins, 10 on the shot clock. Miesemann, 6 on the clock. Hand off to Walker Kimbrough, lets it fly. Knocks it down.
Big time shot right there by Shatori Walker Kimbrough. Good patience by Washington, sharing up the basketball as well.
As Zealous goes into the body of Hawkins.
And this is why Washington leads the WNBA with 21 assists. Great reads, great spacing. A little pitch pass there from Hawkins to Shatori Walker Kimbrough. Turf to turf.
Zealous gets the first. Mercedes Russell will return. Natasha Howard will head to the bench. I imagine for Dan Hughes it will not be for long.
No. It's a quick break. Zealous has been scrappy on the defensive end.
Gets both there. She's done a great job of not allowing the guards position in the paint on the attack.
She's a vet. 10th season in the league.
Hawkins, attack. Goes to Atkins as she's down low, and she's in amongst the trees and will head to the free throw line.
Well, she's in amongst the trees, but those trees were not in good defensive positioning. Great find underneath the hoop. Again by Hawkins. Draws that second line of defense, and Ariel Atkins snuck in front of Russell there. Russell could do nothing but foul. Give Ariel Atkins so much credit for being out here. Probable, as we said prior to the game, her neck not 100%, but you know, sometimes you have to give 100% of the 50 or 60% that you have, and that's what she's been doing tonight.
Mystics have not missed from the free throw line tonight. They're a perfect 17 of 17. Langhorne lost the handle, but Russell was there. Mosqueda Lewis off the curl. Doesn't go. Miesemann controls the glass. An offensive foul was called. However, the officials have come together. I think this is going to be a which came first, the chicken or the egg situation.
Take a look right here. Zealous gets stuck behind. Hawkins trying to post up. But it looked like Zealous had her right arm hooked under the arm of Tiana Hawkins, and I think that's what Tiana Hawkins is trying to explain to the officials. She got some help falling down. I don't think they would have fallen down had the arms not been locked together.
I agree. Whitcomb.
That was a double dribble by Whitcomb. Did she drop it?
Got nailed in the face as well on the seal.
Did Shatori Walker Kimbrough hit that ball, or did Whitcomb dribble it twice? We'll take a look. Here's Whitcomb. She's coming off here. Shatori Walker Kimbrough right there. Oh, that's a double dribble.
That's a double dribble.
That is in the book as a double dribble.
Miesemann. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Deladon. Attack. A whistle and a foul. Elena Deladon going to head to the free throw line.
made the touches tough for Elena Deladon tonight, but she has made her way to the free throw line, and she's going to step up there again. But take a look right here. Langhorne getting a piece of the hand. Elena Deladon.
Christy Tolliver continuing her coaching. She called Walker Kimbrough to the sideline.
That's what great leaders do. MVP chants for Elena Deladon right now are loud and constant.
Hawkins checks out. Sanders checks in. 15-point lead now for the Mystics. Still lots of time in this ball game. Walker Kimbrough off the steal. In transition, lays it up and in. Biggest lead for the Mystics in this game.
Strong defense by Washington in this fourth quarter.
And a kick ball.
By Shatori Walker Kimbrough, and finishes with a cherry on top in transition for the Mystics. Defense turns to offense. It's a good thing for the Mystics.
And welcome back to Entertainment and Sports Arena. The Mystics on top 70-53. It's Elena Deladon bobblehead night tonight. You see we have one right here, the head shake. You got Pax over here. Pax, apparently I'm a bobblehead too. 2,000 bobbleheads were given out tonight in Entertainment and Sports Arena to 2,000 lucky fans, encouraging the MVP voting potentially for Elena Deladon at the end of the season. But enough about bobbleheads, guys. Fourth quarter WNBA action. Let's get to it.
We still have 5:57 left to play in a 70-57 game of a rematch of last year's finals and a potential playoff matchup.
Yeah, and the line was huge coming in this evening for the bobblehead, but of course for the rematch. And the hashtag coming into the season for Washington was run it back. They want another crack at getting to the finals and seeing what they can do when they get there. They're hungry this season. 11-2 advantage for Washington here in the fourth quarter so far.
Around the horn. And a shot clock violation. The Storm had no clue of time of clock.
And that's tough coming out of a timeout. That's the last thing you say to the team. We have this amount of time left on the shot clock. We've got to get something quickly. Washington has turned Seattle over 19 times.
Deladon down low. A couple of pump fakes, and she lays it up and in.
You've got to part the seas. If you're Elena Deladon, you're going to have defenders on both sides of you.
Eastman got a piece of that as it goes out of bounds.
You've got to get a good catch first. Two hands on the basketball, surrounded by every single player just about for Seattle. Deladon gets it done anyway.
Shot from Howard doesn't go.
She's made a career-high 4 threes today. 2 was her previous high from range.
Dan Hughes got about 2 minutes of game time before he brought her back after that timeout. Atkins got it.
Up there's that pro hop into the 3 for Ariel Atkins. Quick release, holding the follow-through, wrist flicked.
Mystics on an 11-0 run. Howard behind the back. Doesn't get the bounce. Sanders got the rebound.
And Sanders hit an icy spot down there too. Tasha Howard with the nice ball fake, but that's what happens when you're a great defender. You bite.
Atkins comes back to Mieseman. The hook in the air. She goes to the ground, but will go to the free throw line.
Let's take a look at Ariel Atkins right here with the 3 at the top. right in place. Emma Miesemann finds her. Quick release. Drew Lloyd just a little late to contest.
Sammy Whitcomb will head to the bench. Shavante Zealous will return. Miesemann gets both, and this lead has extended more.
Miesemann had missed a month of play, playing for the Belgium national team, Eurobasket competition, but she's come off the bench since she's been back, but I think it's been really good for her.
Drew Lloyd gets the jumper. Just under 4 minutes to play. Mystics with a 22-point lead. Deladon to Miesemann. Quick turn. Walker Kimbrough on the baseline. Jumper.
Great ball movement once again. Washington now with 17 assists on 25 made shots.
Zealous. Jumper short. Miesemann with the rebound. She'll run the point a little bit.
Maybe she got away with the travel there. But she did it swiftly enough that it wasn't caught by the official.
Atkins. Sanders. Bounce off the back screen.
Washington is doing what they like to do right now, which is move the ball and find the best shot. And they've been finding the best shot on consecutive possessions here in this fourth quarter.
Zealous attacking. Excuse me, that was Lloyd. Sanders. Left open. Jumper.
Seattle on defense, we were talking about how they were second in defensive rating, but in this fourth quarter, Washington has shown why they are first in offensive rating in the league. They have been moving the basketball, finding one another. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, ball fake and a splash from the corner. And then great bounce pass to Deladon, doing Deladon things for the Mystics.
Welcome back. The Mystics up 83-55 over the Storm. Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. After tonight's game, you can head over to ESPN2 to check out Connecticut at Phoenix. That'll tip off at 10 p.m. And then Friday, the Liberty are at Dallas at 8, and the Dream are in Phoenix at 10 p.m. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
How about Brittany Griner being suspended for those 3 games, but buying 300 tickets for that game later on tonight for fans?
Zealous. Shea Petty, Kim Mestog, Maisha Hines-Allen into the game for the Mystics. Courtney Paris and Blake Dietrich in for the Storm.
Washington 8 of 9 from the floor, made all 6 of their free throws in this fourth quarter for 24 points. They have just been clicking. 24-4 advantage in the fourth.
Langhorn. Mosqueda Lewis, 10 on the shot clock. Zealous, 4 seconds. 2 seconds, lets it fly. She gets that to fall.
They've needed something offensively. They were settling for a lot of jump shots earlier on in this fourth quarter, and Washington got the rebounds and went the other way with it and scored. Very efficiently.
Mestog. Miesemann on the kick. Hines-Allen thought about it. Kicks it. Powers. Got it.
She holds that gooseneck for emphasis. Love and basketball style by Aerial Powers.
Zealous to Parrish. Back cut from Mosqueda Lewis, so she gets the jumper to go.
Overplayed on defense there. Powers couldn't make her way back to Mosqueda Lewis.
Hines Allen, under a minute to play now. Bieseman. A little show me to Zealous as she gets that to go.
A little shimmy, a little shake by Emma Bieseman on that turnaround, Jay. That was aggressive. It just baffles me when she passes up. She's such an efficient shooter on all three levels.
And the Mystics will extend their 4-game streak to 5 and take the season series in very convincing fashion in this fourth quarter over the Storm. 88-59.
What a magnificent fourth quarter for the Washington Mystics, and they did it collectively. The bench came